Hello, and thank you everybody for tuning in to this year's tax session webinar. I am Cora Schroeder, Congressman Tonko's Constituent Services Manager, and today we are honored to have with us Andrew, who will introduce himself in a minute, who will provide us with a presentation that is chock full of good information regarding taxes and all the information that is needed. So before we hear from our good friend Andrew, we will hear a few words from our Congressman Paul Tonko.
Hi, I'm Congressman Paul Tonko, and I thank you for joining us for this year's tax season webinar. In each of the past several years, I have held this forum as part of my commitment to making certain that each of you has the information and resources you need to file your tax returns with the IRS. Today, my team and I are proud to be joined by Andrew Kochian from the Cash Coalition of the Greater Capital Region, who is here to share some tips, updates, and guidance to help you navigate this year's tax season. Andrew is also the director of the Capital Region's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or VITA program, which provides free tax preparation assistance to eligible individuals across our region. I encourage you to take advantage of these resources and the guidance offered in today's webinar as you prepare your 2025 tax return. Thanks to Andrew, and thanks to all of you for tuning in today, and I do hope this information proves helpful to you. If my office can be of assistance with any federal issues, please do not hesitate to reach out. My door is always open. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Congressman. So now we are going to hear from Andrew. Andrew, hello, how are you?
Doing okay. How are you?
Very well,
Lovely time of year, tax season.
Yeah, oh, it's a wonderful time of year, right? So Andrew, again, as I said, he's going to give us a wonderful presentation. And I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let Andrew introduce himself and go right into all the information that he will present to us by way of PowerPoint. Andrew, thank you again, and it's all yours.
Okay, let me share my screen here and open this up. Okay, hello. So my name is Andrew Kochian. I'm the VITA, which is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program Coordinator for United Way Greater Capital Region. And I'm here today just to give some information about VITA itself. So VITA, as I mentioned, stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. It's a national volunteer program administered by the IRS in which volunteers prepare free tax returns for low-income clients. So it's all for free. And we prepare both federal as well as state tax returns. So of course, here it would be New York state tax returns. Locally, the VITA program is administered by United Way Greater Capital Region. So as I mentioned, in this program, we prepare free tax returns, so we save clients a lot of money in tax prep fees. And then our volunteers are very dedicated and very passionate about this program, and they are dedicated to preparing accurate tax returns. In the capital region here, we have many VITA sites, close to about 20. A lot of them are in Albany. We have some in Saratoga, Schenectady, all over the capital region. And each one has their own schedule. All right, so you choose the site to go to that works best for you in your schedule. Now, some of these VITA sites will operate in person, so there'll be same day in-person tax prep. Some of them are virtual, which can take a couple of different forms. For example, some of them are like 100% virtual, where you will scan in your tax documents to a secure website, and then the volunteers will prepare the return there and then let you know the results. Other virtual sites are more of like a drop-off situation. So you'll drop off your taxes with them, and then they will call you once they're done with them, and then they'll have you come back. Generally, that's within a week. Okay, so it's, like I said, a variety of sites with different methods of operating all across the capital region. There are qualifications to using VITA. So the main one is there's an income limit of $67,000. So this normally goes up a little bit each year. So This year, it's $67,000, and that's either as a single person um, or as married, and this is annual income. Okay, now, as I say here, the income limit is actually pretty flexible depending on which VITA site you go to. We don't necessarily have to rigidly adhere to that income limit because we understand that, there are certainly many folks who can make above this income limit, but, may still need the free tax help. So depending on the site you go to, and there are many sites like this, the income limit is generally applied very flexibly. Okay. The other qualification is that you can't have rental income because that's considered too complex for us as volunteers to handle because there may be certain deductions you qualify for that are just too complicated for us as volunteers. The other qualification is that you can't have declared bankruptcy in 2024 because that may have certain tax impacts that are too complicated, again, for us as volunteers to do. We can't do self-employment so we can't prepare a return with self-employment income that involves selling inventory because again, there are certain deductions you may qualify for that are just considered too complex for volunteers like us to be able to handle. All right. And then there's other more rare situations that may be out of our scope to do. So, those will apply like on an individual basis, but, normally those other ones are the main qualifications. But like I said, the income limit is generally pretty flexible. Now, all that being said, with the qualifications, we can actually do many types of tax returns, even though we're a free program. So, of course, we can do the straightforward ones with like W-2s, pension, Social Security, but we can also do returns with, say, self-employment from like independent contracting. So this would be like ride sharing, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, that kind of stuff. So we actually see a lot of clients come in that make income from those sources, and we can do those returns. Okay. We can also do returns for people who sell stock. All right. And again, we see many clients like that. And then if a client owns a home, and has like mortgage interest, property taxes, things like that, again, we can do those types of returns. So we don't just do the very easy, straightforward returns. We can actually do some pretty complicated ones. So here are some statistics about the Capital Region VITA program from last year that I just wanted to highlight just to show how important of a service this is. So last tax season, we prepared 5,400 tax returns. And with that, we assumed that we saved clients $1,639,500 in tax prep fees. If we assume the average fee per person would be about $300, because that's a lot of money for folks. We brought back to Capital Region residents $6,039,615 in federal refunds. And then one of the most important tax credits, of course, is the earned income credit. We brought back $1,661,978 in the EIC to folks in the Capital Region. And then the child tax credit, which is, of course, another very important tax credit. We brought back to residents $1,362,952. So this just goes to show how impactful and important this program is. So just as a little bit of an overview of how VITA works. So if you were to go to a VITA site, each VITA site is going to give you, as the client, what's called an intake sheet. It's basically like something you would fill out like at a doctor's office. So it's going to ask for basic information like, for example, your name, address, marital status, what kind of income you had, etc. That information is important for preparing your tax return. Then once you're done filling out the intake sheet, you will then be put with a tax preparer. And this is assuming in-person same-day tax prep. So you will sit with a tax preparer, and then they'll do your return for you. All right. Once it's done, your return will be looked over by a more experienced volunteer who's called a quality reviewer. They're going to basically look over the return for you make sure everything's accurate. And then once they're done, they'll print out a copy for you, go over the results with you. And then in most cases, we will be able to transmit your returns electronically. In some cases, you may have to physically mail in a copy of your return. And if you do, we will tell you that and show you how you do that. But in most cases, we, as in the VITA sites, we can transmit your returns electronically. So if the copy that you get is for your records. So that in general is how a VITA site operates. Okay, and most VITA sites start at the beginning of February, and most of them will go through to the deadline, which is, of course, April 15th. So how do we actually make appointments in VITA? So to make an appointment, you can actually go online yourself at www.getfreetaxprep.org. Okay, it's an easy to use website. About half of our VITA sites are on that website where you can make an appointment yourself there. Okay, the other half, the phone numbers will be listed on the website, so you can call those numbers directly for those VITA sites to make an appointment there. Okay, and then also, of course, as we get closer to the tax deadline, our VITA sites will, of course, fill up. And in that case, we actually do have some VITA sites that allow walk-ins where you don't need an appointment. All right, those will also be listed on the website. But for now, there are still appointments available. So we do encourage you to make an appointment online if you can. All right, and then in terms of how you get ready for your appointment, that's on the website too. There'll be a list of what documents you want to bring, but just in general, you definitely want to make sure you bring in your social security card and photo ID for you and everyone that's going to be on your return with you, like dependents, spouse, etc. Because identity theft is a big issue these days. We just want to make sure that we are preparing returns for the right individuals. Okay, so social security card, photo ID for you and everyone on your return. And then, of course, all your tax documents like W-2s, for example, if you have a pension, your pension forms, if you're self-employed, it's very important to bring in all your documentation in regards to your income. And then if you drove while you were self-employed, your mileage is an extremely important expense that you want to make sure you have documented. That can be a large deduction for you. Okay, so make sure you keep track of that mileage. Okay, and with that, that's basically the VITA program. So there are still appointments available. Again, at www.getfreetaxprep.org. All of our volunteers are trained, certified. They're ethically bound by IRS ethic rules, and they are all very dedicated to preparing your return and doing it accurately. So we encourage you to get your taxes done for free on the website. Thank you.
Now, sorry, I'm trying to get my phenomenal. Thank you so much. That was awesome. I just have one question for you, Andrew. What if somebody would like to be a volunteer? What are the steps to maybe get involved to help?
Yes, that is a very good question, and I should have put that in there.
That's okay. It was phenomenal. Yeah.
Yes, because yes, our volunteers are obviously crucial to this program. So if anybody is interested, send me an email. So my email is Andrew, that's ANDREW at UnitedWayGCR.org. I have training videos. We'll make sure to give you a lot of support. There's tests involved with becoming certified, but there's training videos and everything, and there's just a lot of support with that. And like I said, we have a lot of VITA sites with different schedules, so you choose the one that works best for you. And there's no rule as to how long you have to commit to it in terms of hours and everything. So, you just come when it's convenient for you. All we ask is that you are as consistent with your schedule as you can be.
Okay. Sounds great. And another question, I know doing casework a lot and people ask just to feel comfortable. And I know that when they come and they work with you, they'll feel very comfortable. But Is there anything that you can share with us, Andrew, where somebody has a challenge, how they best can reach you? Maybe if their challenge is maybe audio, or if their challenge is something physical. Is there anything that you can bring to us or say here that will bring them comfort in coming?
Yes. So if anybody has, so the best way to email me, because I'm on my email all the time, the best way to email me is at that email is Andrew ANDREW at UnitedWayGCR.org. If you have any tax questions at all, any concerns, please feel free to email me. That's the best way to contact me because I'll make sure to get back to you very quickly. Yes.
Sounds good. So it
Yeah.
sounds like email. So
Yes.
email, very
Yes.
good. So
Yes.
email Andrew, and Andrew, I will also say this, they can ask us and we can also give your email.
Yes. And then, and I will say, in terms of a phone number, I should mention this, of course, as well.
Mhm.
You can always call United Way Greater Capital Region at 518-456-2200.
Mhm.
There will be a button prompt for taxes. That's how you can reach me by phone. If you're able to email, that might be a little bit quicker, but there is the phone option as well. Yes.
Perfect. Is there
Yes.
anything else you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
Yes. Well, I just, just the volunteers that I work with, that I volunteer with, are just incredible. They're an inspiration. So you will be in good hands if slash when you get your tax return done with us. Very dedicated. We get your returns done accurately, and we also provide a little bit of like, for example, if you owe money, we give you some guidance as to how you can adjust things in the coming year so that you don't owe taxes next year. So that's also something we can do as well. So you're in good hand, your taxes are in good hands with us. We're just a super dedicated program. And I just want to thank all the volunteers out there for all your hard work.
Sounds great. And we want to thank you. And for our
Thank you.
constituents, this Andrew's presentation will live on our website, on the Congressman's website. So anytime, go there, check it out. And as Andrew has so graciously provided his email address as well as his phone number.
Right.
So Andrew, thank you.
And
Thank
I just
you.
want to say thank you to
Yeah.
Congressman Tonko as well, of
So
course, for
thank you.
all his support of the VITA program. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you for saying that. And I know he's very appreciative of you coming and helping our constituents.
Yes.
Do take very good care of yourself, and I know we'll talk again.
Yes. Thank you, guys.